What's up, my GrandéBoos and GrandéBaes? We are back with episode 3. Detachment is episode 3. But first, to get started, we got our sage on the set. So let's kind of go ahead and clear the negative energies out because we got to talk, honey. Yes, it's been a minute. So we kind of like create a very safe ambiance environment with a good sage. Okay, we about to get into it because I've been trying to stay consistent, but with moving and trying to get your life in order, things get pushed back. So I don't want to keep y'all waiting too long. And your girl just celebrated her 35th birthday. Okay. All my Libra twins out there. It's our season. Okay. So we're going to kick it off and talk about what's been going on with your girl since episode 2, which was celibacy. And this time around, we got detachment. So I want to go ahead and just talk to my supporters, my GrandéBoos and GrandéBaes. We all have people, place, and things to detach from. And I have come to find that it is necessary to cut off who, what, and wherever you need to cut off for your mental health. Okay? First thing first, I want to share with you is to do a whole overlook over your life. Like, who needs to go? What needs to go? Do I need to go back to this place or not? Because this place no longer serving me. This person's not serving me. So, as you know, we've been hit with a couple of hurricanes back to back. And, Hurricane Helene, she came in and she did what she had to do as far as, some look at it Mother Nature. Some look at it as it was controlled by the government. We got this election coming around next month. And, I like to go ahead and put my spin on it because what I took from Hurricane Helene, I really look at everything what need to go in my life to release it and to come back and really revamp and rebrand myself. What need to be cleansed and everything, but I just want to share with you guys that it got to the point where I had to start detaching myself from certain family members, friendships that, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, it's been some places that I would typically go to and I just stopped going there because I just feel like if it's not for me, but something about when you're elevating and you trying to stay focused and don't have any distractions, those are the things that you got to do. It's like a college student going to school. Either you're going to go to school, you're going to learn, and you're going to graduate, and you're going to be successful in whatever your program is, or you gonna party, you gonna bullshit, you gonna be lazy, procrastinate, and I just can't procrastinate no more. So it's just like I've had so many people that I depend on to love me, to support me, to do all these things as I'm doing what I do in my own winning season. So it's just like if it's subtracting from what I got focused on, it got to go. It got to flee. It got to flee. And I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's like your aunt, your uncle, your best friend or your lover. They got to go. And you sit there because you have such attachment to these people and these things, and you're asking God, like, well, that God, like, how can I let this person go? This person brought me to the world. This is my mom, and God looking at you like, she gotta go. But God, that's my aunt. Like, she, over the course of years, we've been there for a chance. But how's she treating you right now? How are you feeling after you feel when you leave a conversation with this person? Are you feeling motivated? Are you leaving the conversation in grace and just saying, you know what, I accept who you truly are, and I'm moving on with my life, and those that really want to see me win, my soul tribe, it's going to be there for me. They are already here. I just got to move these people and these places and things out the way so I can get to them. So, even with friendships, it's so quick to just give up a friendship. Like, I can literally say it has been a very, very challenging thing for me to let certain friends go. Like, growing up and then, knowing people and they get to know your personal business, their personal business. And you know what I'm saying? Just having these emotional attachments to what you think who a friend is and who you should be able to trust with your darkest, deepest secrets. And not saying that people, and I mean, there are people that, exploit your business, but that's how you know they ain't your friend. But I'm speaking on, like, if you have an issue with someone and they feel the need not to communicate in the way they should, but you see that they can communicate with other people. But it's like, when it comes to me, like, why you can't communicate with me like you communicate with G.I. Joe or G.I. Jane? Why am I so different? Why am I being treated different? But as a chosen one, I'm speaking to all my chosen ones. You already know what's up. You already know what time it is. When people don't celebrate you and suppress your emotions, and you having such like an animosity towards somebody, or you get into a heated conversation, it's like, take a look back at what you need to heal on within yourself, so you know how to communicate in a way you know what I'm saying, just be straight to the point, get straight to the point, make your voice heard, speak up, and let somebody know, hey, I'm not about to go back and forth and dibble and dabble with your low vibrational energy, and just cut them off. When you elevate and we on the same frequency, then maybe we can have a conversation. But right now, you not who I thought you were. So gotta detach. You gotta detach. Because as we get older and it gets so hard to detach and really move away from certain people and their energy, and creating those type of soul bonds and trauma bonding with those people, you gotta really do your shadow work on yourself and figure out what it is I need to work on to heal, so that I'm not in this same energy anymore. So back to the Hurricane Helene. So it just like Helene really came and cleansed and washed out certain and old tired energies that needed to go. It might be deep for some of you, but those, if you know, you know. Mother Gaia and Marisha Oya, like, they created the storm, and the next day, and it happened in Libra season. So Helene really is a goddamn Libra. Okay, did you not hear me? She is a damn Libra. Like, she came and fucked shit up. The next day it was sunning like we was in goddamn Florida, like ain't shit happened. And that's how sometimes people call Libras bipolar, but it just like, once you piss a Libra off, we'll do what we do and express ourselves, and it might get to the gutter or hit below the belt or whatever case it may be. it's just like when it's over with, once we get realigned with ourselves, we're like a ray of sunshine. Ain't nothing happened. Oh, and then we just move on from it. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. So, I want to get into saying from Florida to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina that has been affected by the hurricane Helene and Milton. I'm praying for those families that lost their jobs, homes. People was without power for 10 days or more, and trying to survive off of generators. Like, it's been the most time in our lives where people went out to buy generators just so they can survive and have lights and you know AC, because some days it's being hot, like hot. So I just want to say shout out to all those that actually was a breath of fresh air. And when I say that, I mean people that opened their homes to people that needed shelter for children. They have, I'm not against pets, but cats and dogs or whatever the case may be that needed shelter as well. So, it's a lot mentally, and I just want everyone to actually take the time and help the next person. I don't care if you give somebody $5 to go get a meal. Like, people are still out here struggling from the hurricane. So I just want to say, if you did great by people during that storm, you will get your blessings. If you treated people or make somebody feel some type of way during that storm, that the whole process, that whole karmic toxic, just know you will be dealt with, because God do not disappoint, and God does not play about the chosen ones, okay, and those that are part of the God soldier army, okay. So moving along, I just want to say your girl is finally 35. And when I tell you the speed limit is 35, okay? Which meaning, like, I've hit another milestone. So it just like my mindset has really changed, like, in my solo return. So it's just like people ask, how does it feel to be 35? Right now, I already know I'm about to do some things. Things that I can't speak on right now, but in due time, you will see a very new Alexis Janae. Okay? So, I just want to kick it off with our Grande Stars of the Week. I nominated two Grande Stars of the Week. Woo! So, for my first Grande Star of the Week, we have Miss Regina Gaffney. She is a co-worker of mine. She's very personable. She's very helpful. And to mention that Regina spent her first $20 into my business. And I've been doing podcasting for 4 years, and this is the first time I actually got a donation out of one of my GrandéBaes. So shout out to Miss Regina Gaffney, girl. You is a queen, honey. What she always say, if you know her, if you know my girl, she says, my God, today. Which is a very safe word in this chaos mess that goes around and at work, and the energies that be so thrown off. Just say my God today, because guess what? My God today really has shown me what blessings can do, and people sowing their seeds into your business. So we want more of that. You know what I'm saying? More support, that to where we can acknowledge that people are really out here doing God's work where you are very much so a very light worker and a very much positive healer. Like there, I mean, you gotta take things with a grain of salt and just say, my God today. And I want to nominate Miss Regina Gaffney. And for Grande Star of the Week, to the second one, Mary Frances. Mary Frances is a celeb stylist for so many celebrities. Miss Mary Frances also challenged me to do this whole fit check. Well, we're going to get into in a minute.
I'm going to a low-key dinner tonight with my best friend and her mom. Wearing vintage Levi's. This is a Yeezy little bodysuit. I love it. The back is out. It's like super vibey. These are my favorite vintage Levi's. And finally wearing my money boots by Balenciaga. And that's the final look.
And I started following Mary on Instagram because she also styles Da Vinci. And I can't think of the basketball player name, but she styled other celebrities. So I've been following her since she was, part of the BML party. And, she's been his stylist for well over a few years. And I just thought that she was a great dresser. So I started following her on her TikTok. And she was just like, yeah, if you redo my my wardrobe, just let me know and shout me out and tag me. So here it is, Mary. I got on my white for you, girl, because she like to wear white. She's one other person outside of Lisa Ray to wear white and don't mess it up. Because, baby, listen, when I tell you, putting on makeup and doing all kinds of... Girl, I got a whole cake so I don't mess up this all white after Labor Day. Okay. Shout out to you, Mary Frances, girl. I got you. I'm about to do a whole, reel for you, girl, because I really did that because, I'm going to start explaining my pieces. I got my silver and my pearls, okay? And then if you can see my boots, we're going to do boot check, okay? My boots are silver to match my earrings and my necklace piece. Yes, ma'am. And I am a cheap bitch. So I got this whole outfit, excluding the hair, from my good store, Ross Dress for Less. Because, baby, and then she loves her distressed jeans. Baby, I'm not against distressed jeans, but I love a good cargo pants, honey. Yes. So, Mary, like, I feel like she's a great person now. Like, as a celebrity stylist, she can style pretty good. Like, I really do give her props on her styling Da Vinci and other style. Like, I even asked her, like, hey, do you do females as well? She does it all, baby. So yes, I really like select Miss Mary Frances for my second Grande Star of the Week. What's up, my GrandéBoos and GrandéBaes? If this video clip finds you, then you are truly turned into this episode. Thank you for supporting my podcast. And if you want to become a GrandéBoo or GrandéBae, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like, comment below, share this video. And also, if you're an entrepreneur or just simply want to join as guests, you can email me with the link below to secure your spot. And stay tuned. And now you're back to this episode on the Grand Talk Podcast. So, honey, we're going to get into it because, baby, it's about to be tea time. Let me take me a little sip. Tea time. I want to kick this off because it's been a lot that's been going down with the diddler, the baby oils, and the dildos, tunnels they found underneath. Like, I want to take it back to a year ago when we first found out that Diddy was this alleged monster. And as we saw the video cam tape of him throwing vases at Cassie and dragging her in the hotel by the elevators. Like, what is up with the celebrities in the elevators? Like, there aren't cameras. Like, yeah. Why are we doing this? But I just want to just say, Diddy has so many, like, this gonna be one trial because it's more people that are saying that Diddy allegedly had done some awful stuff to them, you know what I'm saying, at these freak offs, or partaking in SA's activities, and just, I don't know. I can't say I wasn't there, but however, we just saw Jaguar Wright get on Piers Morgan, and also, but she's been saying for years about everybody just exposing the industry, and especially Diddy and Jay-Z, which she did on Piers Morgan. But I really find that a lot of people were saying that she lied, but I'm not going to say that she is 100% liar, because if she lied about Diddy, why are we going through this to see Diddy's downfall if that was a lie? And yes, this might get me shadow banned, but I'm not afraid, because like Cat Williams had exposed, this was the year of the truth. And, with this year being a life path 8, and I just turned 35, 3 plus 5 is what? 8. So I know I'm a truth teller, and I got to speak my piece, and and kind of back Jaguar right up when I say this. Like, I have supported her, as I follow her, and as more stuff starting to be revealed, you start to raise an eyebrow on a lot of people in the industry. Because also Jason Lee has, put out there that there were other entertainers and celebrities that was paying some of the victims off. And I'm not saying allegedly, because I got this from his blog, saying that some of the celebrities were paying the victims off to not expose their name in their lawsuits, which is also a crime. And I'm just going to go back, because as a zodiac sign, Libra sun, we rule justice and karma. And yes, I do believe in everyone is guilty until proven innocent. But in the state of South Carolina, some people, you got to treat them in hands of one, hands of all. If you part of it, you in cahoots with that person to do whatever, you should be charged too. Just like how I felt years back about the whole R. Kelly, survivor R. Kelly victims. I feel like a lot of people with that was not held accountable for such SA activities, and them starving people, and just using them as sex slaves and sex workers. And Jaguar Wright has even said on that interview with Piers Morgan that she was actually a sex worker, and she said that publicly. So where her music stands, a career stands, for someone to speak about whatever they like, how can anyone tell anyone how to speak their truth? We don't know what her truth looks like. We don't know what any of the other victims' truths look like, unless you got receipts to prove and back up, yeah, this is actually has happened to me. So and then again, going back to the whole Diddy and Cassie video, like I've even expressed so many times of being a domestic violence victim. Like I've had, someone I dated to almost take a hammer and almost bash my head, but he already had, you know, black in my eye, busted my lip, and all these other things. And I'm not triggered by it because I've healed that part of me. But I want to talk to my, women victims that are, that feel like they can't get out a situation, or, when we kind of sort of do put ourselves in that kind of situation, because if you know that this is going on, and then they probably have felt like, this person is powerful, they got money, they can pay whoever off just like Diddy did, and it won't be heard of. Like, they won't be exposed for doing certain things. And it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. So it just like, even when they question P. Diddy's sexuality, and I don't care about nobody's sexuality. You can love who you want to love, and I just feel like, as a heterosexual woman, pretending to be a heterosexual male, that you should be able to tell whoever you're dealing with, hey, this is what I like, this is my preference. They may go with it or they may not. It all depends on the person, but be very vocal and verbal about what you like. Like, we just learned that Dwight Howard, he is whole bisexual. Which, I mean, that's kudos to him. I'm not here to judge Dwight or anybody that wants to do what they want to do or feel like, this is my preference. But I don't know no heterosexual woman in her right mind to want to deal with a man that is on the DL. And that is a very, like, I could tell you, that is a very deep, emotional feeling like, this is the person I love, and then he want to be loved by a man. I mean, it just, in the line of that, you got to kind of say, hey, this is my boundaries, and I can't respect it. I'm not saying that, we can't be cool and be friends, but as far as doing the whole relationship thing, or, just having casual sex, like, I just do not want to partake in that. And it's okay to speak on that. But if you like the wild stuff, I mean, I've had people that I speak to in general that said, if they was invited to the P. Diddy party, they probably would have turned P. Diddy party out. Just subtract the drugs and the alcohol and the SA. I'm like, but I'm not here to judge. But I'm just like, oh, okay, I can actually see you doing that because you were very vocal to me about going to a P. Diddy party, turning it out. But that's neither here nor there, and that's not me. I have said, I've been to a low-key pre-P. Diddy party on an island, and I spoke that on season 2, episode 1, with the Sauce Island, and with the no cell phones zone. Like, you got to give up your phones upon arrival, just like Blink Twice. If you ain't seen the movie Blink Twice, listen, please go see it, please, because I just want to see what the hype was all about. And I just want to say shout out to Zoe Kravitz. You are very remarkable for making this masterpiece on some of the things that people are being accused of in the whole industry, entertainment business. And this really goes on with such men of power and money. So, my opinion, my personal opinion and review on Blink Twice, like, overall, I really do commend when she became Miss King at the end, because I feel that even though she was Slater's victim, she was no longer a victim anymore. She took over control and power to stop the operation of him drugging people to make them forget stuff and killing people. They killed her best friend, Jess. And, you know, like, you gotta let your abuser know, hey, you can't do this to me anymore. If not, I could take this and really expose you like some of the people in the industry have been exposed. But she took the higher road. She took the higher road and the higher role. And she let old boy know in the end, I remember you. I do. But I'm about to accept my award as Mrs. King. Okay? Baby, she said if you didn't like it, he had to put a ring on it. Cause she was not about to play with him. I thought, I just knew she was gonna just kill this man and just really like, but it was just like, how else was she was gonna get off the island? If he had the money, he had the connect and all that. So it was a whole masterpiece. Like, yes, I really enjoyed the movie Blink Twice. And please go see it if you ain't. You will not be disappointed. So another thing I want to talk about is why some of these people haven't spoke on the whole Diddy case. Like we was hearing a lot from Stevie J, and then people like Boosie, he had his opinion about P. Diddy being not prosecuted yet, but he was taken into custody, and now they saying that P. Diddy is on SI watch. But I just feel like this year have exposed a lot of people that we looked up to as, my generation, and even as an adult, we would still listen to music, and it's just like, if we was to mute everybody's music, like, what would we listen to? Who would we listen to? Nobody's just really like putting out great music that really, that is not attached to some victimizing mess. So I'm just like, how do we, like, as people that want to live a great life and mental state, how do we move on, and how do we like come together to create a safer world? That's a Q and A that I would have to do a live on. A Q&A. It's coming along. I'm gonna start back going live on my YouTube channel, because I really want to connect with my GrandéBoos and GrandéBaes on this. And I also want to say as well, you know how we say peace be still, and my perception of peace be still is, I can't fathom the typical, that person, I don't see that person doing that to somebody, and them getting away with, or I how people just don't have that humility of, people are really much so monsters out here. And that's why I say it's time to start detaching from said people and some of the music we listen to, some of the foods that we're eating and putting into our bodies. And how can we elevate elevate at a higher level of still being in a 3D closed mind mentality? So it's like you got to go back to what we was taught, and that's to take a wild walk on a wild side, and the wild side is nature. We got to go back to nature because I that's another lesson I have taken from Hurricane Helene. It's to go back because for way before digital technologies start to be a big thing in the world, they didn't have Google search. They didn't have, power. They had to do what they had to do on survival mode. Like, we were really going back to survival mode. So I'm really starting to feel like everything about the industry that's being exposed are the regular people are now like the new celebrities. Like, they have to learn from us because we feel like we learn a lot from watching them. So the roles has been reversed to celebrities being the new regular people and the regular people being the celebrities. Cause it's like, what do you do? What do you do as you motivate yourself to navigate through life journey and have your own type of mindset? You got to use your own discernments to a lot of situations that go on in the world today. Like I said, and I mentioned, and I don't too much get into politics, like with the debates going on and people going out to vote. I just feel like a lot of times we're not getting what we supposed to get from whoever they elect in the chair. And I do, however, I am a voter. But this year I decided when I changed my address that I was no longer going to be an organ donor because I just feel like going through this life human experience, I just don't feel like this is what I would call home. This is like, I just, it's so much that humans put on other humans to make it their responsibilities. Like, I just seen, and I don't know if it was a meme or just a post being shared all over like Facebook, but they was saying something as far as, I just lost my train of thought. That's okay. Something as far as, do we as people, you know, when you see somebody down, do you your first thing people want to do is grab their phones out and say, I did this for this person. And that's really like inhuman, that person, because I'm like, if you're going to do something nice for somebody, that should not always have to hit a viral moment. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something for somebody, do it for that person. And, instead of looking for validation, like, people look for validation too much in the world, even now than more so ever, because like back in the day when, like I said, going back to that survival mode, people done a lot of things. People trade alike, people barter a lot back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Because people had so many talents and skills to help the next person, to where they didn't have, like I said, the Google search and all that. They had encyclopedias. So you don't have to like have a viral moment and just be like, hey, I did this, look, like, people want to do that so much. And then just like, one day I was in the Starbucks line and people started to pay it forward. Like they were saying, "Oh, don't worry about paying for your coffee or your tea or anything. The person in front of you already paid for it." So what I do is the humane to do. I said, "Well, let me know what's the total in the car behind me. I didn't care what it was," and I went ahead and paid it forward for that next customer. So sometimes you gotta be a blessing to somebody else, and then that's how you get blessings. Like people, they don't take the time out to really do something great and it not be shown on social media. Like social media is really a drug to some people, and yes, that's how some people survive and how they eat. You know what I'm saying? How they get paid off TikTok, how they get paid off of YouTube, how they get paid off of Facebook, and now they saying you don't get paid much on Instagram. But that's how some people feed their families, and and vlogging is okay. And I want to start vlogging, like some of the things that I do, like just kind of like take a day with Alexa Janae. I want to get into doing more vlogging content. I want to say also shout out to my nail tech for doing my nails for my birthday. We done hit, I know, 8K views on my TikTok reel, Miss Cat. Um, Girl, it's going viral. Look, I'm just sitting here trying to time my viral moments, but I just want to say, and I just use my platforms just so I can like be helpful to the next person. Like, hey, like it's okay. Like sometimes you gonna fall out of being consistent, and it's okay to get back to it as long as you pick yourself back up and get back into it again. You know? And I wanna also say that, and we're gonna go back into ourselves. And before I close out, I wanna say know your worth, know your value on where you hold in your own life. I don't care what somebody else may think about you. That's their perception of you. You only can be your own judge and sometimes your biggest critic, because I can. And I'm reverting back to myself because I just feel like at the end of the day, we all are struggling. I don't care if you're a millionaire, billionaire, and it doesn't matter. As we can see, the downfall of a lot of people, like I said, that we looked up to, are catching hell because of the hell they presented for other people. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's a lot of unanswered answers, you know what I'm saying, that I feel like people ignore. And, as we watch certain people grow in this podcast business, you know what I'm saying, people that fail to talk about certain things that some of the people like us and myself want to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to just say, because we speak a lot about the diddler so much, like that has really like been like hit news, like because there's a lot of people that's coming out saying that they was SA and everything, and even more men in groups and males saying that they had been SA by the diddler. And I just feel like even with the Carisha Please, and I know she's on Revolt and everything, that she had her first episode saying, on her season 2 opening, that wasn't her experience with him. So it just like inquiring minds want to know, and myself, like, that might not have been her truth or her experience, but I feel like she left out the part where, to me, that how do you take in watching that video of him throwing the vase at Cassie. And then with episode 2 and 3 on season 2, she had Rick Ross sitting down with her and Tia Kemp. And we all know I love Mr. Tia Kemp. I love her. She was my first Grande Star of the week when I started doing my podcast by myself. But, you know, we all know how Tia feel about her child's father. But she's also said that, you know, allegedly Rick Ross was gay, and a lot of things, like she reshared some things on her story and her news feed that, you know, with the whole video of Rick Ross and P. Diddy washing cars together. She called them the slippery wet and the booty benders and the body, the baby oils. And but I'm just like, there was some NDA signs or maybe a cease and desist, because I'm like, if she was dealing with P. Diddy and Tia has a child with Rick Ross, like, why was those allegations brought up in their interview? So again, like, some things you can tell was probably NDA, you know, but I just looking at it, I just feel like overall that Carisha, that if you had signed an NDA or just say, I just can't simply speak on said or such things or allegations, you know what I'm saying, to put yourself in a position where you just like, you know, I've been a victim, or if, you know, maybe you don't want to say nothing because you probably was part of the issue. We don't know how that could have gone. Again, you know, allegedly, Tia said that Rick Ross was gay, and the whole P. Diddy, you know, empire is going down because they were saying that he was, you know, saying men and women and young men at young ages. And, you know, they talk about the Diddy counts and all that type of stuff. So it just like, as a human, like, we just it's best to come out with the truth. But people rather hold on to, you know, how much money it can make them, how they brand gonna look to, you know, their fans and supporters. And you know, and I can't say that I was never a fan of Carisha. I mean, I still watch her podcast and everything, but I just feel like some certain questions wasn't asked during her interviews with certain guests that she has, even with herself sitting down with her BFF, Saucy Santana. So again, Miss Carisha, girl, like, you just kind of own it. Like, people, I don't know if it's the only thing, or if it's a revolt saying that we, you know, we want you to speak on what you need to speak on. Then we through with it and everything. Like, you know, kind of bring themselves away from Diddy, but it just like, how can they when he was part of their chairman team and everything? So it's just like, as time unfolds and we see more people coming out saying that they were abused, I just feel like it's time to really, like, for somebody to come out and say something, like, you know, or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you did a crime, you gotta do the time. And that's old school right there. And again, detach from certain things, like, you know what I'm saying? That's how you become free yourself. That's how you heal yourself. But people don't want to hear the truth. I mean, I tell anybody, if you don't want to hear the truth, I'm not the person. This is not the platform for you. So I'm all about healing and mental healing, and really, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you gotta face up what's going on. But I just hope, if ever this episode finds you, that you find yourself to be interested and also entertained, and with everything that I had discussed today. And on the next episode, it's gonna be very much. Oh, before we go, I want to just say with the whole celibacy from last episode, I want y'all to know, because I didn't get on the men that last time, because the women, yeah, some of y'all men got to uh cut off certain soul ties with such karmic females. Those that you've have had sex with. Like I said again, with the detachment, detach yourself from a lot of karmic females that didn't mean you no good, that still hold those sexual urges with you and still think about you. Because like I said, you know, I just feel like as a woman and as a man that's really trying to get their life together, and especially if you want something out of life, especially with a life partner, it is good and it's best for you to create that safe space with you and whomever you decide to choose to be your partner. Because like they say, once you take that over, you cross that line of being intimate with somebody, guess what? Whatever magnetic energy that you have tied to somebody else, your person gonna feel that energy as well. So it's good to cleanse yourself, cleanse your gut, and eat healthy. Drink your alkaline water as you supposed to, okay? And then, again, you gotta energetically cut the cords off. So this is my time. Thank you all for tuning in and watching episode 3, Detachment. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye.